खलीफा के हम हैं खलीफा हमारा, वो दिल है हमारा आका हमारा, हमारा हमारा खलीफा हमारा, वो दिल है हमारा आका हमारा, वो दिल है हमारा आका हमारा.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome to This Week with Huzoor. We are honored to present highlights of a Mulaqat with a delegation from the USA. In addition, beloved Huzoor Aidullah bin Aziz visited the Fazl Mosque and lovingly met members of the Jamaat earlier in the week. We begin with Sunday's Mulaqat, where Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Aidullah bin Aziz met with the National Amla of Majlis Ansarullah, USA.
On Sunday, over 50 National Amla members and regional Zuama of Majlis Ansarullah USA who had travelled to the UK had the blessing of having a mulaqat with Hazrat Khalifatul Masih V, may Allah be his helper, at the MTA studios in Islamabad. The meeting began with a silent prayer, after which a video presentation was played about a recent cycling initiative by Majlis Ansarullah to cycle to the National Ijtima.
While the physical journey started on the morning of Monday, October 2nd, the spirit of the journey started more than a year ago on October 14th, 2022, when beloved Huzoor instructed the Amla to take up long-distance cycling and specifically recommended a ride from Pittsburgh to Bath Rahman. That guidance was the motivation for taking on this long and demanding adventure.
Yeah, we're feeling the effects of it, but it's okay. With the love of the Khalifa in our hearts, anything is possible, inshallah.
But this was more than just a physical challenge. It was a testament to the power of Khilafat and the prayers of our beloved Huzoor. Bound only by the love of Islam and Khilafat, these brothers shared moments of laughter and encouragement. They helped each other when their bikes broke down or when someone needed a morale booster or when someone was injured.
I met my brothers on the trail today. I saw their shirts, Muslim for Peace, and I just wanted to say Assalamu alaikum.
And after Fajr on Friday, local cyclists from the Maryland area joined this group. After about 2 hours, all the cyclists arrived at their destination, Bath Rahman. The mosque that seemed so far away 4 days ago was now host to sounds of jubilation.
Huzoor, last time when you came to US and you asked us to do this trip from Pittsburgh to Bath Rahman, and this was one thing. The other thing was that we raised model village funds for $75,000 for one model village, and alhamdulillah we were able to raise $250,000. And that's what we want to present in that chapter.
So that means you can make 3-5 model villages, huh?
Ji, alhamdulillah, Huzoor.
Alaikum Huzoor. Tanveer Ahmed, Qaid Sehat-e-Jismani.
Qaid Sehat-e-Jismani, mashallah. Do you do any exercise?
Ji, alhamdulillah, ji. So we have about 33% members who say they exercise regularly.
Do you yourself do some exercise?
I'm a bicyclist too.
Bicycle?
Ji, ji.
Acha?
Ji.
Half kilometer daily?
A little more.
Acha.
During the meeting, Huzoor spoke with the Qaid Tarbiyyat Mubaeen, responsible for the training of the new members of the Jamaat in Majlis Ansarullah.
Make the list of Mubaeen, those who did best during last 3 years. Huh?
Yes.
And then make a proper plan for them, how to train them.
Ji.
And what should be the books for them to read. There should be some prescribed books, right?
Ji.
Or literature or some other material, so that they would know that what is Ahmadiyya, why have they become Ahmadi, why should we be Ahmadi. So you yourself should know, and then your mind should also know. Not only that they have done Bai'at and that's all. So you try to bring them into the mainstream of the Jamaat, and so that they are well trained. So you should better train them. They should know better than the old Ahmadis. They should be absorbed in the mainstream.
Saad Mia,
Saad Mia?
Zaeem Majlis Oshkosh.
There are how many Ansar in Oshkosh?
25.
25. Acha, very easy job.
requesting prayers for one of them.
That is Saad Mian? Huh?
Ji Huzoor.
Achha. 25. Yeah, your majlis should be an ideal majlis. Naib Sadr Saf-e-daum.
Ji.
Achha. So now you should include more people in your cycling activity. There were almost 50, 60 people, Ansar, who went from here to Spain on bicycle. Ansarullah, UK. So you should work hard. You are quite young.
During the meeting, Huzoor also advised the Qaid Taleem-ul-Quran and Waqf-e-Arzi.
Try to include each and every Amla member and Nazim-e-Ala and their local Amla members into the scheme of Waqf-e-Arzi. Okay? Everyone should do Waqf-e-Arzi for at least 2 weeks. Okay? Including yourself. Okay?
I serve as the regional Nazim Midwest.
In the Midwest region, most of the population of Ansar is of non-Pakistani origin?
Yeah, it used to, but now it's like 50-50.
Can you control Pakistanis? It's very much difficult. Anyway, you have been with me for some time. I hope you will handle it.
Inshallah. Jazakallah, inshallah. So, inshallah, Hazrat, next assignment I have been given the Qaid Waqf-e-Jadid.
Acha.
Request for prayers.
Try to include each and every member, every Nasir, in the scheme of Waqf-e-Jadid, right?
Ji.
Okay.
One of the attendees Huzoor spoke to was newly assigned to helping new Ahmadi immigrants who had recently moved to the United States.
And you know the psyche of those people. Quite a number of them are not very well educated. So you should have a special scheme to absorb these new immigrants and to help them, to settle them.
Inshallah.
Huzoor also advised the Qaid Taleem, responsible for the religious education of the Ansarullah.
Those who are very well educated or those who can understand, ask them to read the book, The Philosophy of the Teaching of Islam.
Absolutely, Huzoor will change that. Ji, zarur.
And there are some other books as well.
Do
you have your own website?
No, I do not. It's a Jamaat website, Ansarullah website, which has a section in it.
So I think they should be allocated some space in that, where you just give some course from the books of Prophet Islam, some small excerpts through 3 lines of course, and the course of the Khulafa, and then course on contemporary issues and everything with regards to the teaching of Islam and Ahmadiyyat.
Inshallah. Jazakallah, Huzoor.
During the Mulaqat, Huzoor instructed the Qaid Tabligh to have an ambitious target for spreading the message of Islam Ahmadiyyat to the people of the United States.
You should make some ambitious program for Tabligh.
Inshallah, Huzoor.
To reach at least 25% of the American population.
Inshallah.
As the meeting concluded, Huzoor awarded the Alm-e-Inami to the best Majlis of Ansarullah, after which the attendees had the honor of having pictures with Huzoor.
Alhamdulillah, Huzoor were very kind enough to allow us to bring another group. After COVID, I believe this is one of the biggest group which we brought from USA. We were about 55 people. And Huzoor was so kind enough to provide guidance on each department. And also Huzoor kept that sense of lightness, by talking very lightly in a joking manner with some of us. And Alhamdulillah, we all enjoyed it very much, as well as gathered important guidance for future. Alhamdulillah.
Even though we have met with Huzoor and we had meetings with Huzoor before in the last few years, but every time it's a new experience, and Alhamdulillah, the meeting went very well. Huzoor asked specific information about the movie, so that gives us a new line to work on those. So inshallah, we'll be looking and getting that data available as well.
On Monday, Huzoor travelled to the Fazl Mosque in London, where Ahmadis had flocked in large numbers to greet Huzoor. Huzoor led the Maghrib prayer at the mosque. After Maghrib Namaz, Huzoor visited an exhibition in Mahmud Hall showcasing the history of the Fazl Mosque.
یہ پہلا جلسہ سالانہ جو ہوا ہے
اس میں جو حضور خان صاحب اس میں تقریر بھی کر رہے ہیں ایک میں لوگ کھلے میں بیٹھے ہوئے ہیں کرسی پہ وہ بھی ہے.
Huzoor then distributed chocolates to the children who had gathered at Fazl Mosque before returning to Islamabad.
Those were highlights from just some of beloved Huzoor's activities last week. We now end with a final segment, the Friday Sermon Summary.
In today's Friday sermon, Huzoor Ayyadullah Ta'ala bin Nasr al-Aziz continued to relate incidents from the Battle of Uhud. Towards the end of his sermon, Huzoor Ayyadullah Ta'ala bin Nasr al-Aziz appealed for prayers for the people of Palestine.
جیسا کہ میں فلسطینیوں کے لیے دعا کے لیے بھی کہتا رہتا ہوں، دعا کریں، ظلم کے خلاف حقیقی عمل کی دنیا کو اللہ تعالیٰ توفیق دے. گو آوازوں میں تو کچھ بلندی پیدا ہونی شروع ہوئی ہے، باتیں بھی کرتے ہیں کہ ظلم ہو رہا ہے ظلم ہو رہا ہے، لیکن اسرائیلی حکومت سے لگتا ہے سب خوف زدہ ہیں، یا فطرتاً جو مغربی دنیا ہے مسلمانوں کے خلاف ہے، جو نفرت ہے اس کی وجہ سے یہ چاہتے ہیں کہ مسلمانوں پر ظلم یا ختم نہ ہوں، یا جو کوشش ہونی چاہیے اس طرح کوشش نہ ہو. چاہے یہ نہیں دیکھتے کہ معصوم بچے ہیں، مظلوم عورتیں ہیں، ان پہ ظلم ہو رہے ہیں، بوڑھے ہیں. تو بہرحال ان پہ ہم تو زیادہ اعتماد نہیں کر سکتے، لیکن کوشش باہر کرتے رہنا چاہیے، ان کو سمجھاتے بھی رہنا چاہیے اور دعا بھی کرتے رہنا چاہیے. مسلمان ملکوں کو ہی اللہ تعالیٰ ہمت دے کہ اپنے آواز میں زور پیدا کریں اور حقیقت میں ایک بن کے اس ظلم کے خلاف آواز اٹھائیں اور اس کو ختم کرنے کی کوشش کریں.